Where are the aliens? That's one of the Fermi paradox question.
Where are the aliens? It's a question that has haunted humanity for generations. We scan the skies, we send probes across the solar system, and we broadcast radio waves into the void, all in the hope that someone, somewhere, might answer. And yet, silence. No signals, no ships, no visitors. This is what scientists call the Fermi paradox, the contradiction between the overwhelming probability that intelligent life exists somewhere in the universe and the absolute absence of evidence that it's ever come here. But in 2017, something changed. For the first time in human history, we detected an object entering our solar system from interstellar space. It was unlike anything we had ever seen before. The Hawaiians named it Oumuamua, meaning a messenger from afar arriving first. It was long, thin, and strangely flat, less than a millimeter thick, but stretching hundreds of meters wide, almost like a solar sail drifting silently across the cosmos. It didn't glow like a comet, it didn't trail gas or dust, and when sunlight struck its surface, there was no heat signature, no thermal footprint at all. Most of all, its trajectory didn't make sense. Oumuamua wasn't simply falling past the sun, it was accelerating, as if being pushed by some invisible hand. At first, experts tried to explain it away. Perhaps it was a shard from a destroyed planet, perhaps an icy comet whose gases escaped in a way that produced thrust. But the deeper scientists looked, the more the data resisted explanation. Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb suggested something bolder. What if Oumuamua wasn't natural at all? What if it was a probe? For years, that theory sat at the edge of science, too wild for most, too tempting for others. But now, a shocking revelation has reignited the debate, because Elon Musk has confirmed something extraordinary. Oumuamua is back, and this time, it's not alone. When deep space tracking systems first caught sight of the returning visitor, scientists were stunned. By every law of physics, Oumuamua should have been gone forever. It left our solar system on a trajectory that should have carried it into the cold emptiness between the stars. There was no reason, no possible orbital path that could have brought it back. And yet, there it was, sliding once again across the edge of our solar system. But there was more. This time, it wasn't a solitary traveler. Dozens of smaller objects accompanied it, moving in perfect formation. Not scattered debris, not chaotic fragments, but synchronized companions holding a steady pattern beside the lead ship. Could this be coincidence, or was it the unmistakable sign of intelligence? Astronomers watched closely as the strange flotilla drew nearer, and then came the impossible detail. Oumuamua wasn't speeding up this time. It was slowing down. If this were a comet or an asteroid, that would be unthinkable. Objects like that fall freely through space, governed only by the pull of gravity. But this looked deliberate, a controlled deceleration, like a spacecraft easing into orbit. Humanity had witnessed countless launches of its own ships into Earth orbit, onto the Moon, toward Mars. We knew this maneuver well, and we knew what it meant. Oumuamua hadn't come by accident. It was here on purpose. Panic and speculation rippled across the world. Was this first contact? A peaceful envoy from another star system? Or the opening move of something far darker? World leaders convened emergency meetings. Militaries dusted off long-abandoned defense protocols. The public speculated wildly across news broadcasts and social media. But while governments hesitated, Elon Musk acted. SpaceX redirected its Starship program. The rockets that were designed for Mars colonization were refitted for interception. Observation probes were hastily mounted on their noses, instruments calibrated to the most sensitive tolerances in history. Humanity would not sit idly by. The mission was clear. Intercept Oumuamua, scan it close up, and, if possible, make contact. But Musk carried a hidden ambition. He knew that communication would be the true test, and for that, he didn't rely on politicians or diplomats. He turned to AI. If the visitors communicated in a way beyond human comprehension, light pulses, electromagnetic patterns, even mathematics itself, and AI would be our best chance at bridging the gap.
As SpaceX probes closed the distance, the first clear images streamed back to Earth. What scientists saw erased all remaining doubt. Oumuamua was not a rock. Its surface was impossibly smooth, as if carved from a single piece of material unknown to Earth. It gleamed like polished metal, reflecting sunlight in strange, calculated ways. And surrounding it, the smaller companions revealed themselves not as fragments, but as craft in their own right, sleek, ridged, and symmetrical. These were ships. Humanity had dreamed of this moment for centuries, but the reality was overwhelming. The precision, the engineering, the sheer elegance of their construction placed them thousands, perhaps millions of years ahead of us. And then came the first signal. A pulsing light sequence beamed from one of the smaller vessels. At first it seemed random, but the AI caught the pattern. It was a series of prime numbers: 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. The universal language of mathematics. It was undeniable. They were trying to talk. For weeks, the AI and the alien fleet exchanged these patterns: light pulses for light pulses, number sequences for number sequences. The world held its breath. Every night, people looked up at the stars knowing that at that very moment, Earth was in conversation with something, someone from beyond. But then, a breakthrough. The signals shifted. They weren't just numbers anymore. They became concepts, geometric shapes, fractals, ideas encoded in light itself. It wasn't communication in words, it was communication in thought. And soon the message became clear. 3 words repeated again and again. You are not alone. The implications were staggering. Humanity had long wondered if we were unique in the cosmos, and now here was the answer, not whispered across centuries of speculation, but declared openly, undeniably, by visitors who had come across the stars. But there was one more twist. The fleet wasn't the end, it was the beginning. At the edge of the solar system, telescopes caught sight of something massive, larger than any ship in the fleet, larger than anything humanity had ever imagined moving through space. It was still distant, still blurred by the darkness, but one fact was certain: it was coming. And then, as if to confirm humanity's deepest fears, the message from the fleet changed once again. We are coming.